My first one is the purchase of video cameras for council chambers. This came out of the September city council meeting. The mayor directed staff to investigate how we would go about broadcasting meetings from the city council chambers. And this is the proposal that I had put together by Net Standard. We also had Mission Electronics look at it. They gave us one that was slightly more expensive. The one element that's not really included in here is Mission Electronics is more turnkey in terms of you basically press a button, it starts recording, it compresses it, and then it sends it out on the internet, and you really don't have to do anything. It just does it automatically. This requires more steps. This would be similar to what Bill does after a meeting, where he takes it back, downloads it to a computer, compresses it, and sends it out to YouTube. This one doesn't include the manpower element, so what I would like to do is kind of include the manpower element in this one. You know, how much time would it take for a person to do it the way that's described here, and then how much it would cost to do it sort of with the turnkey approach. The turnkey approach, if I remember right, is like $4,100, which means that you don't have to devote as much time in terms of a person to doing it. You basically come to a meeting, you start the broadcast. In a sense, you press this button, it's recording, condensing, and then sending it out.
So the 4,100 is the turnkey that we do less with.
Work, exactly.
And the 2,500 we do.
There's more labor involved in terms of a person.
Would it have to be one of us?
Yeah, you choose.
No, I mean one of our people.
Right. And so what I want to do is just go
not me.
Factor in the human costs,
okay,
and then compare the two. And I think what we'll find is if we pay a little more, it actually costs us a lot less over time.
Okay. This is an annual cost, right?
This is a one-time cost.
One-time cost.
Right. Because we have the bandwidth here in City Hall, and with the fiber that we run between the county and the community center and City Hall, and then AT&T is actually upgrading our network, and we're going to end up paying the same price that we have been for the last 5 years. And we've also, today we met with county's IT department and sort of told them that this is the other thing that we would want them to be able to manage if they took over our IT services. And they have expertise, county broadcast meetings.
Do any other cities broadcast their I mean, around here?
A lot of them do.
Olathe does.
Olathe does.
Village used to?
Prairie Village used to.
Big Wheel.
Kansas City. Kansas City, Missouri. Johnson County. Just Jackson County. Jackson County, I think, does theirs. Blue Springs, I think, does theirs too.
Questions?
I'm on committee, if I may.
You may.
Thank you. Are either the $2,500 or $4,100 options live broadcasts? And if they're not live, what's the delay for them being available to citizens who want to see it?
The first one you would actually record it, download it, compress it, send it out. So you'd have to, let's just say we set up a practice that we did it the next day. So that would be a day delay. The one where you press the button, the way it's described to me is as it starts compressing the video and sending it out, that video is going out to a website. So it's going on as the meeting is occurring. Now what that delay is in terms of recording, compressing, and sending it out, I don't know what that is, but I can find out.
That would be important to me understanding, because if we could get as close to real time as possible, I see value. If there's a delay, I don't see as much value in this exercise.
Do we have any assumption at this point how many people actually go out and look at this? I mean, John just made mention of the fact that a majority of people in this community are senior people that don't have access to computers.
I mean, one way you could do it is you could go out and just go to YouTube, type Bill Nichols, City of Mission, and it'll bring up all of his YouTube videos, and you can actually see the views by video clip. So you can see how many people.
That could be people from across the country. That
Could
doesn't
be.
necessarily mean it's people from Mission.
I'm kind of guessing you're not from California, but could be.
Well, there is a channel on the television where a government channel where these can be played, where some are played.
Mhm.
I don't know how you get on that. Which would be live. Yes.
If we go forward with this, is there an expectation that a policy is to follow about who is allowed, who isn't allowed to videotape meetings? Is this ultimately where this is headed?
Yeah, it would just be the city's videotape of its meetings.
So this essentially would put Bill Nichols out of business?
Yes.
And we would,
And there's no, we wouldn't propose that there's any editing. We just, whatever video and audio that we have, it's
Is there any
captured and
saved?
sent
I
out.
mean, after a meeting,
I mean, I'm sure it's archived, just like.
that's what I mean,
Right, yeah.
would it be archived for how long? Because we're not saving tapes now.
Well, my question is, how long does YouTube allow you to have it out there?
That's quite interesting, because the tape's very small, and we got rid of the tapes. We got rid of a hell of a lot of history. And now, when we get this up, after the minutes are approved, what are they gonna do with all the discs, or who's gonna get them, or how they gonna see them, or how's it gonna be made to the people who do not have access to the internet and all that are interested in it?
We have not contemplated that we would become an archiver, in which we would maintain an archive and people could come up and ask for DVDs, start making, our idea was put it out on YouTube where it's really available to everybody. And you can actually buy programs where you can download it and capture and keep the YouTube video if you want it yourself.
Are we going to then download them and keep them, so if people can, if they want to, they got a
We're
tape player, they put it on
We're
or a
simply in
disc?
the broadcast business.
That's all it's going to be then, it's going to be broadcast and that's it?
And it's a one-time charge.
Yeah. Now, the camera is, is one camera is going to do this, or are we going to have multiple cameras for multiple positions?
One located so that you can get all of the, very similar to the way Bill's doing it right now. One camera that you can basically pick up all of the audience and all of the actors in the meeting. So it would be the front half of the city council chamber.
you want your own camera on you?
Hell no. Don't need no camera.
Mine.
Why, if this is such a good idea, do other cities not do this? Or, I mean, why did Prairie Village pull out of it?
We have to remember that video or broadcasting meetings started out with cable franchises. Once cable became prevalent, one of the things everybody built into their agreements is that you had to allow for a public access channel. And broadcasting over a cable television network is a lot different than the broadcasting that you can do on YouTube today. It is so much more cost effective to be able to videotape, collect it, and put it out on YouTube. YouTube didn't exist 5 years ago in terms of its use, and really the technology as it relates to cameras, the software that you needed has gotten a lot cheaper and a lot better. The equipment that you need in order to get it out to the internet's gotten better. And the other thing that we had 10 years ago was we didn't have the bandwidth that would allow you to ship stuff out onto the internet. With all these improvements in technology, this has become more cost effective. And my guess is, I would imagine that you're going to see more and more cities move to something like this as we go forward. Because it's fairly simple to do. And it makes a lot of sense that you would have this as one format for people that can't come to the meeting.
The thing I liked about it is that it puts it out there in an unedited version, and we ultimately will develop a policy that, yes, we videotape all our meetings, all our city council sessions. Here's the website, you want to see it. And it is what it is, and then it gets everybody out of the business of feeling the obligation to videotape it.